Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. What's good with it? It's the homie Mac, music, art, culture, knowledge. Reporting live from the Dogon. Each one, teach one. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Yeah, so this is a real quick session of Mac Minutes. I want to say RIP to the brother Kevin Samuels. RIP to that brother. Yeah, so the internet is real quick to kill people off. So when I was informed via the internets that Kevin Samuels was deceased, I didn't believe it. And then some things came out later. Something about I think his mom had confirmed it to NBC, and I was just like, wow, like he's really gone. I think the thing that really kind of had taken me aback was just seeing how there were people actually celebrating his death, his demise. Notably women and some, white knight men. They celebrated his death. Real simpish behavior, by the way. But yeah, who was Kevin Samuels? He was a YouTuber, image consultant, relationship guru, whatever that means. But yeah, the brother, I didn't hear about him until the height of the until the height of the pandemic. The whole "you were best at average" thing, the critique he gave on the woman. But I'm gonna get straight to it. We live in a very gynocentric society. I feel like men are undervalued in a lot of ways. I think women are definitely pedestalized. There are good women out here, but I think there are there's an over assertion of female leanings, I feel. I know we got this whole Roe versus Wade being repealed thing going on, so I'm sure there's some feminists that would argue me down, but anyway, that's another discussion for another day. But right now, I think men are largely treated as utility, and I think a lot of women feel as though they should just be taken care of. And not even on some, I want to be a nurturer and take care of the kids while you work. No, like on some, I'm on Instagram all day and living my best life, and you take care of my lifestyle. And you better not have a 9 to 5. You better be a big balling ass. Big balling ass in work. But yeah, I think Kevin Samuel, before I go there, I can remember being a little boy going to the nail salon with my mom and just overhearing the dialogue that women would have amongst each other, and a lot of it was just very anti-male. Men are bad. Men are trashed. I heard that so much to the point where I was like, damn, when I transition to manhood, like damn, what's that gonna be like? But yeah, so I think in this hyper gynocentric society that we're in, especially in the Western world, a lot of Western women, I feel, their egos have definitely been pedestalized. I feel like a lot of men are just considered, again, a utility, and the depth of his manhood is the metric for the depth of his manhood is how much money he makes, or can he afford this luxurious lifestyle to give to his partner. And I think Kevin Samuels challenged that narrative. I think he challenged a lot of gynocentrism. I think a lot of time women, when they matriculate from girlhood to womanhood, they've been perpetually told, you're a princess, you're a queen, you deserve everything, the world is your oyster. And I think there are a lot of hyper distortions that women are pretty much inculcated with from the time they're little girls. And I'm not saying, women, what did I think Thomas and Kara said? He said women hold up, he said women hold up half of the sky. So yeah, there's definitely a need for female presence, female wisdom. I'm not trying to say women are not needed. They definitely are. But I think there's just a lot of hyper distortion. I think, I think women go into the dating field, they're thinking that there are certain things that they are just owed. And I'm not talking about just fundamental respect that you should give every human. I'm talking about just time, money, resources. They feel like they're just inherently owed that. And it is what it is. But I think Kevin Samuels challenged that narrative and just said, look, essentially when you're dating, there's a marketplace. What is your sexual market value? What is your social market value? Anything he said, it's crazy for a woman to think, you know, a man is problematic because he doesn't want to raise another man's child or children. It's problematic that you have multiple children by multiple men, and you feel as though you're going to withhold sex from a man, like that's going to do something, or somehow you just feel as though if a man is not willing just to take care of you and your children, and you shouldn't have to work, like there's something wrong with you if you think that. There's some men out here that will take care of you, I guess, but on average, it's very few and far between. I think he challenged a lot of narratives. He challenged the narcissism of a lot of women. He challenged the self-aggrandizement of a lot of women. And I don't think it's fair to call him a misogynist or to say that he was degrading women for the simple fact that they would call into his show. They would call into his show and ask him for a critique. He gave his honest critique. I don't think he necessarily displayed the best emotional intelligence in his critiques. He was very candid in his explanations. And I can see how somebody would take offense to that. But if you can kind of just look beyond that and actually pay attention to the content of what is said, you can grow. There actually was a woman who said that she talked to Kevin Samuels. He gave her a critique. He rated her, and one thing she said was, "You need to lose weight." And the lady said, it hurt her feelings. Naturally, we're humans. We're sensitive about certain things. And she was like, you know what? Instead of being a victim, I'm going to see if I can actually work on these things and see how my dating life changes. And she said she became a better woman based off of his critique. So I definitely think there's a yin and yang to it. My only issue with Kevin Samuels was I don't think he necessarily spoke enough about character and intelligence when it comes to looking for a partner. But that's just me. Maybe he did and I missed it, but just a lot of things that I saw, I thought everything was centered around economics, appearance, social status. So I thought there were a lot of things that were very shallow. The metrics were very shallow. But that's not his fault. That is the world in which we live. We live in a very shallow, culturally sick society. But I think there needs to be more emphasis in general placed on intelligence and character. Because like Shahrazad Ali said, you're going to be standing up with a woman or standing up with your partner whether you're going to be laying down with them. So daily decisions, their intelligence, character, that has to be a bigger metric. Karl Marx is the one that coined the phrase commodity fetishism, which essentially says, you're marrying somebody's economic base, you're marrying their resources, you're marrying their social standing. So to the core of who they are, that's like the last thing considered, if at all. And I think that's problematic. I think you have a lot of people that are marrying ideals and they're marrying profiles. I was told by my mother, you need to marry the woman that you have a passion for. You have to want her to be her best self. And you have to want to help her become that. There are no ready-made people. We all have issues. We all have things that we need to work on. It's part of the human experience. Those that will grow will be the people that acknowledge that and actively try to rectify things that they need to work on. I'll make it more personal with me. I went to my doctor a couple months back, and he said, Maurice, you need to lose some weight, homie. You need to lose some weight. So I've been back in the gym. I've been working out, stay reading, just trying to build the temple, build the mind, build the temple. But back to Kevin Samuels, I think though his delivery, sometimes it was a bit much, but I think his heart was in the right place. But I do think, you do need to kind of be mindful of your audience and how you talk to them. But I think sometimes the things he said was in response to the energy he got. The way he articulated himself was in response to the energy that was conveyed from the people he was talking to. So there's some people he has to be a little bit more assertive and aggressive with, or the message would not reach them. So I think ultimately the narrative that he was pushing was be your best self. Be your best self economically, be your best self spiritually, be your best self socially. Grow. Evolve. Grow. What's the basic rule in science? You either evolve or die. So grow. Be your best self. Don't be a victim. I just think a lot of times, like, women have not, I said, again, gynocentrism, a lot of women have not been held to fire. A lot of accountability is a lot of women's kryptonite. Sorry, not sorry. So for them to actually have a mirror put in their face and to think, what value do I really bring? You know, and I'm not even talking about value in a shallow sense, but like, who am I? What do I add to a man's life? How do I make his day-to-day life experience better? What do I bring to the table? I know women hate hearing that. But yeah, I mean, Kevin Samuels never pontificated himself as being like perfect. He often said, I ain't shit. I've had 2 divorces. And I know a lot of people say, well, you've had 2 divorces, so you shouldn't speak on it. If anything, he should. Because he's seen what not to do. He's seen it fail. You know what I'm saying? RIP to the brother. I think he really has caused people to look inward and really kind of measure themselves. Like, what am I bringing to the table? What value, like, who am I? Do I deserve the things I want? Like, what can I do to, you know, this you know, society is very cold. This dating game is very crass, you know. But let me look in the mirror and be real with myself. How can I become my best self? That's the narrative that I took from Kevin Samuels. How can I become my best self? Again, I think as a man, and Kevin Samuels spoke on this, you learn that equal opportunity does not equate to equal outcome. So as a man, you kind of learn you have to compete. And I think a lot of times women, they've just always kind of feel like they've been the people who are supposed to be pursued. Like, no, you have your shit together, then you come to me. No, have your shit together before I get to you. You know, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. I think ultimately his goal was to build strong families. Sorry, like, I know some people think that might be a reach, Stretch Armstrong, but no, I really think he was pro-family. The only thing I didn't agree with, I felt like at times he kind of said, like, you know, you broke up your family by leaving. No, I think sometimes these men broke up their family by incessantly displaying certain behaviors, whether it be like a verbal abuse or infidelity. I can't knock a woman for wanting to leave a marriage, exit a marriage for infidelity or abuse. Definitely, I don't think a woman should have to put her life up as tribute for her children and her family. No, especially if she's being mistreated by her husband. But again, ultimately, I feel like his narrative was be your best self. I even remember him going in on men, you know, and he basically said, like, everybody has a metric. You know, they want a penis of a certain size. They want a certain breast size. They want a woman to have WAP. You want a woman with a fat ass. Like, everybody has this metric, or he has to have a certain amount of money. And I think he put it in women's faces, like, look, you've had this whole matrix that you put men in, and what you wanted. Well, you know what? Men are doing the same thing. We have the right to do the same thing. Like, you want to say, oh, body positivity. No, you're obese, you're overweight, and you're unhealthy. It's not about body positivity. I mean, there's heart disease, like diabetes. A lot of people literally are killing themselves from what they ingest daily on their own volition. So, no, like, I think, you know, when he pretty much, the things that men have always wanted to say, that we talked amongst each other, he brought it to the masses. Again, I don't agree with everything he said, but I do feel like, I don't think he was just about, you know, just being pernicious and chopping people down just to do it. No, I think he wanted people to be real with themselves and to know that, you know, make sure you are who you think you are when you're out in the dating world, you know. But yeah, I think for whatever reason, his critiques of men seemingly did not resound as loud as his critiques of women. So, you know, he's a misogynist. He's anti-black women. He's degrading black women. No, these women called his show on their own volition and asked for his critique. So some onus has to be placed on these women. You know, if you think that his narrative push was so deprecating on the women, Like, why would these women commenting on him, and why were these women asking for critiques, and why were these women following him on social media? I want to say his fan base was primarily women. So that's the juxtaposition of irony at its finest. Like, but it is what it is. I think human beings are very interesting, male or female. But what else? Middle finger to everybody that's celebrating his death. That man did not do anything. He did not force people to watch his show. He did not wish death upon anybody. And to my knowledge, he never killed anybody. You know, it's a harsh world. Men have had to learn how to deal with harshness forever, you know? And not to say that women have not had to deal with harshness in different ways, but it's just the fact that I think women have always been sold these Disney World fantasies about what they deserve. And he was just like, no, some of y'all are shallow, some of y'all ain't shit, some of y'all are sorry, some of y'all you don't know how to choose. You know, I've heard some women say, well, men need to just be better. No, be more selective in what you choose. Know what you want. You know, let's have some substance in our choices. You know, and that goes for men and women alike. Because I'm tired of a man wanting to get with these IG models and be like, man, she ain't got no character, she ain't got no substance, all she want is money. Duh, bruh. But yeah, and to Vivica Fox, she's bogus. So to say that this is her, like, she's not God. Who is she to say that his death was his karma? Something about him putting out negative energy. He did not pour out any negative energy. People asked for honest critiques, and he gave it to them. And he busted a lot of people's bubble. It is what it is. Either you're going to cry about it or do better. Be better. It is what it is. RIP Kevin Samuels. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel 82 Kings.